hijacked a plane, stole $200,000, and then did something no criminal had ever done before. He jumped into a storm from 10,000 feet in the air. He was never caught. No body was ever found. No confirmed identity was ever discovered. And more than 50 years later, the FBI still does not know who he was. Think about that for a moment. A man commits one of the most daring crimes in modern history and simply disappears. No trace, no evidence, nothing. This is the mystery of D.B. Cooper. Every unsolved case leaves something behind. Evidence, witness statements, official reports, fragments of truth scattered across time. But most of these fragments are never seen again, because they are stored deep inside the archives. My name does not matter, but my work does. I study cases investigators could never solve, events that defy explanation, mysteries that remain unanswered. I am the Archivist, and tonight, we reopen one of the most analyzed cases in aviation history, Case File Norjack, known to the world as the D.B. Cooper hijacking. Investigators later examined this case in detail, and one thing became clear. This was not random. Cooper appeared to understand the aircraft with unusual precision. November 24th, 1971, the evening before Thanksgiving. Airports across the United States were filled with travelers, families returning home, businessmen finishing their final trips. Everything felt normal. In Portland, Oregon, a man entered the terminal. He moved calmly, deliberately, without hesitation. Witnesses described him as polite, well-spoken, and completely unremarkable. He wore a dark business suit, a white shirt, a black tie, and dark sunglasses. Nothing about him stood out. At the ticket counter, he purchased a one-way ticket to Seattle. No luggage, no questions, just a simple transaction. The name he used was Dan Cooper. Investigators later confirmed something unusual. That identity did not exist. It was an alias, created for a single purpose. Cooper boarded Northwest Orient, Flight 305, a Boeing 727, 36 passengers, and a small flight crew. A short flight, less than 30 minutes. Everything appeared normal. Until shortly after takeoff. Cooper called over a flight attendant. Her name was Florence Schaffner. He handed her a folded note. At first, she did not see it. She assumed it was a phone number. Then Cooper leaned forward and said, "You should have seen that note." When she opened it, everything changed. The message was simple. "I have a bomb." At this point, what would you do if you were on that plane? Cooper opened his briefcase slightly. Inside were red cylinders, wires, and a battery. Whether it was real, no one could be sure. But in that moment, the threat felt real. Investigators later analyzed this interaction. Cooper never raised his voice. He never panicked. He remained completely controlled. This suggested something important. He was prepared. Cooper made 3 demands. $200,000 in cash. For parachutes. And a fuel truck waiting in Seattle. At first, these demands seemed simple. But investigators later identified something unusual. Why 4 parachutes? One theory suggests this was a calculated move. By requesting multiple parachutes, Cooper made authorities believe he intended to take hostages, which meant they could not risk giving him faulty equipment. This was not just a demand, it was strategy. Meanwhile, Cooper sat quietly, drinking bourbon, observing everything, like he was in complete control. Aviation experts later noted something else. His knowledge of the aircraft was highly specific. He understood the Boeing 727 rear staircase, a feature rarely known to passengers. This led to another theory. Cooper may have had aviation experience or military training, because this level of precision was not common. The plane landed in Seattle. Passengers were released, but Cooper remained on board, waiting. Soon, the ransom arrived, $200,000, delivered exactly as requested. Then Cooper gave a final instruction. Take off again. Destination: Mexico. But his instructions were precise. Fly low. Fly slow. Keep the rear staircase unlocked. This was not random. It was calculated. Somewhere above the forests of Washington, everything changed. The aircraft shifted. The rear staircase opened. The wind rushed into the cabin. And D.B. Cooper stood at the edge, alone, above darkness, above endless forest. Then, he stepped forward and disappeared into the storm. The FBI launched one of the largest investigations in history. Thousands of suspects, hundreds of leads, but no confirmed answers. No body, no parachute, no trace, only theories. Some believe he did not survive. Others believe he was trained, but one theory stands out. This entire operation may have been planned in advance. Every step, every detail, designed to eliminate trace. In 2016, the FBI officially closed the case. But mysteries like this do not disappear. They remain, waiting. And this is only the first file. I will see you in the next investigation.